When they reminisce over you. When they reminisce over you. My gosh. When they reminisce. When they reminisce. When they reminisce over you. My God. When they reminisce over you. Real. That's the question. When they reminisce over you, what will it be? What will be the report? When they reminisce over you, my God. What will be the report? When they reminisce over you, for real. What will it be? When they reminisce? Can't even get my words right. That's the question. How will you live your life? How will you be remembered? How will you be looked at? How will you be understood? Will you be remembered? What will be your legacy? When they reminisce over you, my God. What will it be? When they reminisce over you, for real. What will it be? When they reminisce over you, my God. What will it be? When they reminisce over you, for real. What am I talking about? Once again, it's this word that we call legacy. You and me have legacy, whether we realize it or not. The question is not, will you have a legacy? It's what kind of legacy will you leave? What will it be when they reminisce over you? My God. What will it be when they reminisce over you? For real. What will it be when they reminisce over you? My God. What will it be when they reminisce over you? For real. Okay. So for me, my desire is to be a positive ripple in the waters of this thing called humanity. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna let that opportunity pass me by. I'm just happy that I get the opportunity one day at a time. One time for your mind. What will it be when they reminisce over you? My God. What will it be when they reminisce over you? For real. What will it be when they reminisce over you? My God. What will it be when they reminisce over you? For real. Every day, we're trying to put forth our best foot forward in so many ways. Ways of being parents and lovers, and sometimes even when we're getting othered, and it's still important to realize that you must see it through the eyes of, in my case, glass half empty, not glass half full. But the question is, what will it be when they reminisce over you? My God. The way I heard an old man say it one time, he was like, it's not about the first date, it's not about the last date, it's about the dash. That dash in between, what will it be, you know what I mean? Yeah, you do. What will it be? What will your legacy be? The question is not whether you will leave a legacy or not. The question is, what kind of legacy will you leave? My God. What will it be when they reminisce over you? My God. What will it be when they reminisce over you? For real. What will it be when they reminisce over you? My God. What will it be when they reminisce over you? For real. As for me, I do this thing in accountability every day I get the opportunity to. It's one of the reasons why I say I believe in opportunity over obligation. You can say it with me. It's a good mantra to say. Opportunity over obligation. 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 The reason why is because if you can see your life through the eyes of opportunity and through your moments through the lens of opportunity, then you can show up in a way that allows for all the most amazing things to happen in life. You can allow for those intentions to meet those serendipities, put the whole equation together. And at the end of the day, what that equals is the quality that we are all trying to achieve in one way or another. I promise you. The question is not whether you'll leave a legacy. It's what kind of legacy will you leave? So I ask you, what will it be? I want to say good morning to my Facebook family. Dylan, Acerca, what up? Yes. And also Moomy, hello. Good day to you, good morning to you, wherever you find yourself. So what will it be? What will your legacy be? How will your life be lived? Let's chop it up. So, I'd like to say, if you'd like to come to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. The main goal is to say hey to your beautiful face. And thank you for being in the space. And if you would like to just continue to listen to this in the background of your experience, then by all means, I only ask you to do one thing. Tell a friend. Ping someone in who you think would enjoy this conversation. I'm excited about our BPS spotlight today. I'm also excited about the fact that I think my mom is going to come through, talk to us about that woman's magazine article that she was a part of. So amazing. I'm so proud of my mom. What's up to my Facebook family? Hey, that's gonna be a clothing part of my clothing line one day. A shirt that just says, you know how babies say family, like when they can't pronounce their L's. I'm gonna have a shirt, gonna have a logo that's that. Fam are we, because that's who we are. Yes. So if you'd like to come to the stage, come on and throw up a wave. I'd love to say hey to you. Yes. Acerca. Good morning, Acerca.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. What's up, Acerca? How you be?
I'm doing pretty okay. I've been up since 3 a.m.
Okay.
But that's normal during Mercury retrograde, so.
Okay. Okay, that's normal during the retrograde. That's normal, you know, when things are going in the opposite direction. You know what's funny about it, though? When you realize there's no opposite direction.
It's just the direction you're supposed to go in. It's a different one.
You know what I mean? Hey, Acerca, I forgot. I always forget. Forgive me for this. Where do you reside again? I don't know why I can't remember.
Chirac, Illinois.
Right. That's right. That's right. I gotta come to Chi-Town soon. And it's warm, so at this point with this dumbass global warming shit, I could use a little bit of wind in Chicago, even though I know it's just the winter season wind. That's the killer. But still, hopefully some will be left over. I'm coming to Chicago.
Yeah, no, usually is, especially by the lake, because I stay by the lake, so.
Right.
A little breeze over here.
That's what's up. I'm coming to Chi-Town very soon. Soon and very soon. Soon and very soon. Soon and very soon. What's up, Acerca? What's going on with you?
You need 2 seconds.
Okay, no doubt. When they reminisce over you, what
all right.
will it be?
Sorry, audio quality is like being weird. Anyway, so I'm doing pretty okay.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend the other day. I think Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm terrible with these days. Anyway,
we all are.
One of these days.
We all are. No, No, check out. One of these days, you're gonna realize, and I'm gonna remind you that that's all of us right now. God damn! Like, I'm literally asking people. Like, I asked my bass player yesterday before we got started. I was like, "Yo, what's the date again? What day is it again?" I have no shame in it. It just is what it is. Look, we'll be all right. We all together.
No, these are facts. But yeah, I went to the beach and she was I was telling her, my neighbor, that I was like into writing some comedy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just writing in general, but I was telling her about comedy because she does comedy. And I was like, yeah, I actually wrote some stuff, and I was thinking about like actually like doing it and whatnot. And she's like, yeah, I go to this place that has like an open mic, and they're really cool. And she made $28, so she was like, she can make $28. I could probably make $28. So like, I already wrote one, but then I wrote another one. I'm trying to write another one this morning, or I am writing one this morning, I guess. Yes. So yeah, and it's tonight, so I think I'm gonna go tonight. I was seeing if I could have a friend come with me, but if not, then it's cool. I'll just go anyway.
Have a good time anyway.
But yeah, I've never done comedy at all ever in my life, so.
You know, it's funny because when I think about comedy, like, I guess for me, I just think about being myself. And just it's wild. It's almost like, you know, people have talked about some of the silly things that I've been doing in my content for some like last couple of years, and I realized, I'm like, how did this come to surface? I'm like, yeah, it just came to surface by a deeper acceptance around myself, around the silly fool that I am, like just owning the fool.
Yeah, I think mine came when I decided to stop taking a lot of the negative things that happen in my life seriously, and realize that my entire life is an entire joke. And then just look and be like, wow, okay, this is just all comedy. Like just a lot. I have a lot of situations that happen, and people are like, "Oh, you're so funny," and I'm like, "Bro, this is like." Explaining to you what happened, and it's just very annoying. Like,
look, I'll tell you, I know exactly what you're saying. It's just the way some people say things, you know. You know, and that's just how they live through it. You know, Coco is like that. Coco, who you see come through here, she's a lot like that. You know, she'll just be explaining something as normal, and I'm crying laughing, and it's literally just because of her delivery. So here's what's funny. I have no pun intended, or I guess pun intended. Here's what's funny.
I love puns.
Yo, okay. So I have this silly series that I started called Snapchat Crazy, and I'm actually getting ready to show it to you all, because this is a great moment to bring about some funny stuff, and then I'm gonna go from there, and I'm gonna go to my shenanigans writings, and I'm gonna read you some silly shit that has happened to me. So, okay, for everybody that's on Facebook, I'm getting ready to share my screen, and you're gonna see Snapchat Crazy. And for everybody that's on Clubhouse, I'm over at Aaron Hill TV. Look for the red and black profile picture. Okay, so Acirca, are you able to come over with me on Facebook to see what I see right now?
I'm gonna try and go over there now.
Okay, all right, because I want you to watch this with me so bad. I want to see if you find this funny. Okay, so hey to Aditya, hey, thanks for hanging out. All right, so tell me when you're there.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, cool. So can you see me?
Oh, like alive?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Yes, I do.
I'm waving at you.
Yeah. I had to scroll. Like, I'm not the smartest. I was like, wait, where's the post? It's not the first one.
You don't, and I'm gonna tell you something. You don't have to be smart to be brilliant. You are brilliant. All right, check this out. Right. So, all right. So that's me. All right. Now, what I'm gonna do here is in that video, I'm gonna share this when you play it though, mute Facebook so that you're just listening through Clubhouse. That way it's not like a double kind of thing. And that's for anybody else.
Yeah,
listening.
no, I'm on my phone, so.
Perfect. All right, cool. So for everybody out there, if you haven't seen this was my first episode. Wait a minute, I'm trying to go to turn this music down. Okay, here we go. So this was my first episode of Snapchat Crazy. All right, I hope you enjoy this, Circa. Already connected on all my other homes, the Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, etc. When you can find me at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV .tv on IG. Having way too much fun with these Snapchat filters.
Just how I look after that green. After that real good green. There's some good green right there. How you floating and shit. So man, what I was trying to tell, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, what I was trying to tell them was that, you know, I was too damn old to tell them what I was trying. I done forgot what the hell I was going to tell them.
See, the shit that used to piss me off was when people would be like, well, how many fingers I got? How many, well, am I holding up two? Well, I'm a motherfucker, I have no fucking idea. Do you see what I see, motherfucker? I can't tell whether it's 2 or 10, god damn it. I don't know whether it's 2 or 10 of y'all even talking about holding up damn fingers. Hey, I'm nothing but just a nice guy. Pink glow, you know.
You know, young blood, see, back in my day, we didn't have. You know, young blood, see, back in my day, we didn't have.
I remember them old times like they was yesterday.
Well, now, what do we have here?
Did you hire me for your party? I'm just a little girl.
What say you?
I like yeah.
I'm living in a heart, and it touches my heart.
Hey man, you alright over there, man? You alright? Nah, man, I'm straight. I mean, it's good and everything, but nah, I'm good, bro.
Sure, you got smoke coming out your eyes.
What you mean smoke coming out of my eyes?
You got, dog, it's smoke.
Oh, word?
Yo!
Word?
Ah, look at me. I look so precious, I'm about to cry over my own self. They even found my favorite rattle. Scarface. Hi, I'm the sister of Aaron Hill.
Nah, man, for real, yo, I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed. Cause I know that motherfucker, somebody done took my goddamn red hat, man. I ain't seen that shit nowhere. Ain't nowhere. There that motherfucker go. Groovy, baby, I say groovy. There we go. That motherfucker pop like it wasn't nothing out of nowhere.
Hey, what's going on, dude? You jamming, ain't you?
But an old school fool.
Yeah, I like old school too, man.
You out here trying to play by the rules.
Yeah, you got to, man. You
Just laying low like a cool cat.
Yeah, I feel you.
See, young blood, back in my day, we didn't have Snapchat.
Hey, them dogs. Y'all get from around here.
Yeah. So to help me to make more content like this, please see the info in the description or comments. Thanks so much for watching. Introducing Aaron Hill, Snapchat Crazy, a delicately handcrafted new video series that tells the tale of the shenanigans of a grown-ass man that messed around with Snapchat and went Snapchat crazy. I hope you enjoyed this first episode, and if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. I invite you politely at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV .tv on IG. Oh, I missed the squirrel face out. I forgot to show y'all the squirrel face at the end. Okay. So that was exactly what you all
Welcome to Front and
just heard.
Center with Jackie
Oh,
Jordan.
we don't want to go front and center with Jackie Jordan. Y'all know how they got them autoplay videos. You'd be like, I did not ask for that. This is not what I want to watch right now. Oh man, Snapchat crazy. So, in other words, I'm a damn fool and not afraid of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so the funny thing for me is that I've always thought, like when I was younger, that like older people didn't have that kind of sense of humor. And then I found out, like, yeah, they do. It's just that some are more accepting of it than others. And so,
Yeah.
but we all have a little bit of, silly and fool in us.
Yeah, no, I think me, I'm more of I just like again, my like life situations where I have like a lot of dark humor. Like,
Yeah.
I have and I think it's because like there's like so much trauma in my life in general, and that I think that's what really makes a really good comedian, someone who has been,
Right.
put through the mill of life and somehow found it funny.
Right.
Because not everybody thinks the shit's funny.
Right. Yo, you're so on point. Right. Look, you're so on point. It really is that. It's like a person who gets it on that level is someone who's learned to turn their pain into power, like Coco would say, and to take something and to laugh at life in that way. I feel like it is so much that's funny in life. But like you said, not everybody's free though to express that,
And I think like maybe like one of the things so somebody told me that the only things that are actually truly funny are things that are true or believed to be true, right? Whether it be fact or fiction is not like, that's not here nor there. It's just believed to be true. And so when I tell people, like, explain to them and say like why racist jokes aren't funny is because you already started with the assumption that the assumption that we're making is true about this group of people. And so it's really not the best to make those kind of jokes unless you're like part of the group and your joke is based on evaluating the situation and not looking in on it. And so I tell people like, yeah, there are a lot of funny jokes about race, but it's funny because people think it's true, if that makes sense. It's like, ha ha ha, this is funny because you all really think this is like funny.
I'll tell you this. You know what? I love that you're bringing this up, and then the serendipity of having some fun and funny people in the room. And we were just talking about this. So, it's interesting what you're saying. I look at it like this. I believe it's 100% true what you're saying, but I feel like there's another level to it. So, in psychotherapy, one of the biggest things that they talk about, especially like in the school that I'm in, is experiential psychotherapy and using tools that are relatable. The biggest thing to use to be able to get people to relate is the imagination. So in some cases, I think it's funny because people think it's actually true. In other cases, it's just the trance that a comedian puts you in when they're really good to get you to use your imagination. Meaning, like, a lot of the things that comedians say, like even about themselves, might not even be true, but it's just that they're painting a picture. And because we entertain, especially when it comes to the imagination, we entertain that, taking on that journey, because that's what makes it fun. We can go down that path. So I think it's sometimes it's because we think it's true, and I think it's other times it's just it sounds funny or it sounds silly, or we're imagining like, wow, if a person really did that, that would be funny as shit. And it's not about it's just like, wow, that would look funny, that would sound funny, or whatever we think is funny,
No, I get what you're saying. I think like because when you really break it down and be like, why was this funny? Like, why was, even if you're imagining it, but why? Like,
right?
Why? And a lot of times, like things that are really, really abstract and not real are really hard to make funny. Like it's really hard to make something funny that is unrealistic.
I disagree. That's I mean, we watch cartoons every day. Like
No. Like so. I don't know.
Listen, I get what you're saying, but I think it's both ends. So meaning like, when you said that, I thought about a person hopping as a frog, right? But like with frog legs or something. And I was like, yo, now that's not real at all. But that would be funny as shit. Like, or it might not be, it's subjective ultimately. And that's just the thing.
Yeah.
But that might be funny to me because I might be like, oh my gosh, a person with frog legs and a human body up top? And that's not possible, but it might be funny to me or to someone else, And then to other people it might not be funny because like you said, they can't imagine it. It doesn't match reality. But I think, let's get some other voices in this. Who else? Oh, Dylan, what's up, homie? Hey, if you're around, bro, and you like to jump in, by all means, you know what to do. And if you're taking over the world, bro, by all means, keep on taking over the world. What's up, Dylan? Good morning to you, man.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's happening, Dylan?
Oh, doing good, man. Thanks. I'm loving this conversation. Truth and imagination. Gosh. I was thinking about like a bunch of different jokes. And kids, I have kids, and my 9-year-old keeps telling me jokes all the time. And I don't know. I really didn't think if they were truthful or not. Right. I kind of thought, but no, I think that I totally get the whole relatability. It's like peer. You can joke with your peers or cap with your peers,
right? But
you really can't cross that peer line per se. I mean, a few people can get away with it, but
right.
And that's where I think truth comes in. If you have that mutual reality, like you've lived a similar. It's like almost like what empathy versus sympathy, right?
Yeah.
Like I can try to have empathy for somebody or something I've never experienced, but I'd be silly. I should have sympathy. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like your 2.0 thing on do unto others, right? Like you got to know, or you got to understand where they're coming from. You can't just imbue yourself with this sense of self-worth, or even thinking you're funny, go into the wrong crowd and start telling the wrong jokes, and that's the last thing you're going to be is funny.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's also like relative. Like
that's exactly what it is. I'm so glad you said that. I was literally about to say that. It's literally relative. Like it just depends on where you are. It depends on what the culture is. It depends on so much. And ultimately, because it's relative and subjective, it just pours into this sea. On one side, it like anything else, it has its pros and its cons. The pros is that we can find funny in so many different things. And then the con is that some things that maybe we shouldn't think are a joke at the time because maybe they're serious and we need to deal with them, might make us overlook it. That's really the yin and the yang of it, so to speak.
Because it's like what makes something a bad situation funny, like after. It's like, oh, you're not gonna think it's funny now, but later you will. And it's like, why?
Yeah, look, here's another why, right? Or another thing I realize is in that realm of the answers of why. It depends on one other thing that it depends on, because again, it's a multitude of things, is how much you need to cope with this thing or accept this thing in order to move through it. And what makes me think about this is my own life, because there was a point in time 10 years ago where there were a number of things I didn't find funny that we would laugh at, like when we look at our own dysfunction and laugh at it. And I still have some issues, but some things have cleared up. And I realize it's because I happen to just continue to unfold in my acceptance of the fact that sometimes, many times, most times, in order to cope with something, in addition to the other positive things you do, sometimes making a joke or having fun with it or being lighthearted or finding something funny in it actually helps. And since there are no rights and no wrongs, especially in these kind of places, except for when you're doing other people harm. See, and that's when it gets tricky, because when you're doing other people harm or yourself harm, but sometimes no way to tell that, and then even that's subjective. But honestly, that's what I realized it comes down to. I want to hear a few more, if you all got a few more things to say, and then I want to read this article. It's called The Mystery of What Makes a Joke Funny. It looks like it's about maybe a 3 or 4 minute read, but I think this will also be fun to even inject into the conversation.
You guys said relative.
Right.
I wrote a poem in college called "It's All Relative." It's really short. I'll share it with you if you want.
By all means.
The trials and tribulations that we go through every day can tend to work against you in the most peculiar way. But the worst thing that can happen, and you keep this thought in mind, it's to lose your balloon and your ice cream cone all at the very same time. So that was it.
Wow. Wow.
But it's all relative, right?
Yes.
Like that, and I think from a kid's perspective, that would be maybe the worst thing in the world, the trials and tribulations. So
yeah, I definitely feel you on that. You know, it's all perspective. And even like what you just said, even that from many angles, the worst thing in the world is to lose the ice cream cone and balloon at some times. And it happens. And that's why I have so much empathy. That's why I have so much empathy, because I'm like, this is just, in my opinion, there isn't a something or someone that cares about us, that's looking out for us and all that kind of stuff. It's just this ball, this organism of everything going on. From a guy who's, you know, hanging out on the phone, just in positivity, having fun, to the damn parasites around him trying to eat him, to the animals eating each other, to like, it just is what it is. To me, the acceptance of that allows you to sink in, be grounded, be centered, and just be like, well, okay, you know. And then you realize you're not special, and you're as special as you just want to be and feel. Like, have fun with it, have a ball with the words and with the terms and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, at the end of the day, we defined everything. So yeah, this thing called laughter, this is something that, you know, helps us out so much in many ways. And like I said, the interesting thing for me was I used to be a little uptight about certain things, even though I've always been a complete fool, like an absolute fool. But then there were certain things that we would talk about that I'd be like, I don't think we should be laughing at that, because that's like a real problem. And there are things, I would even still say to today, there are things that are like that. But with that, I want to actually read this article. And let's see, I actually got 2 here. I'm going to read one, see if we can get through the other. All right. So this one is The Mystery of What Makes a Joke Funny. And this is from The Conversation. How do you like the following joke from Sumeria in about 1900 BC? Something which has never occurred since time immemorial. A young woman did not fart in her husband's lap. Or this classic from Egypt, 1600 BC. How do you entertain a bored pharaoh? You sail a boatload of young women dressed only in fishing nets down the Nile and urge the pharaoh to go catch a fish. So they said, if not, right? If you don't like those 2 jokes, maybe try this more modern joke from 1000 AD Britain. What hangs at a man's thigh and wants to poke the hole, and that it's often poked before? And wants to poke the hole that is often poked before. And then the answer is a key. The chances are you could tell these were meant to be funny, but did they make you laugh or smile? Be it ancient or modern day humor, we all find different things funny. Why is this? Is it down to our brains, or to the way that humor works. One consistent finding in scientific studies is that laughter is universal and predates humans. It predates humans, while humor seems to appear alongside modern humans. That makes sense to me. Wherever there is a record of modern humans, one finds jokes. There is a whole book of Roman jokes, The Laughter Lover, which contains zingers, including this one. An Abderite, Abderite, which is people from a region now split between Greece, Bulgaria, and Turkey that the Romans thought were stupid, saw a eunuch talking with a woman and asked him if she was his wife. When he replied that eunuchs can't have wives, the Abderite asked, "So is she your daughter?" It's extremely interesting that although the Sumerian farting joke is slightly over my head, they are all structured as jokes would be now. Even the topics seem modern, such as fart jokes and sex gags. These themes also confirm some of the scientific theories of jokes and humor. For example, humor often involves the realization of incongruity, mismatch. So actually, humor often involves the realization of mismatch between a concept and a situation. Violations of social taboos or expectations, the resolution of tension or mocking, and a sense of superiority. Here, over there, stupid Abderites is what they used from that other joke earlier. Here's the next thing, social context. But even if jokes tend to be structured in a certain way, over time and place, no one thing is guaranteed to make everyone laugh. Some of this is because time and distance rob the jokes of their cultural meaning. Similarly, a recent study of jokes told by medical doctors in France showed that these often relied on pretty broad sweeping or downright offensive stereotypes. For example, that surgeons are megalomaniacs, tyrants, that I can't even get this.
Anesthesiologists?
No, because it's not the ologists. Anesthesiasts. There we go.
There we go.
It was too many S's and T's back to back. Anesthesiasts are lazy, and that psychiatrists are mentally ill. Within the workplace, especially in stressful jobs, humor is often used to encourage cohesion within a group in order to deal with stress in an acceptable way. That's what I was just saying. But it also works to exclude outsiders who can find such humor to be unpalatably dark. This last point is important. Exclusion of others can help boost group cohesion. Listen to that. See, that's the interesting part. That's the yin and the yang of it. Exclusion of others can help to actually boost group cohesion. We are all part of different social groups, and that will affect our approach to humor. Because as well as reflecting culturally shared values, comedy reflects our aspirations and our sense of what we would like to find funny. Charlie Chaplin is still extremely popular in China, whereas in the West, we can appreciate him artistically, but we don't often find his comedy making us laugh. It seems old-fashioned and predictable. Even worse, one of the most successful comedians inspired by Chaplin, Benny Hill, is considered cringeworthy in the UK despite him being one of the few UK comedians to break through in the USA. That's because Brits like to think that they are a bit more sophisticated in their humor, that a man being chased around by naughtily dressed than a man being chased around by naughtily dressed ladies. In this context, it is not at all unusual for older people to find the things that younger people find funny to be entirely inexplicable. When my colleagues and I ran an event at the Royal Society at the Big Bang Fair in 2012-2013, we asked attendees, mostly teenagers, what made them laugh, and we were mystified that a common response was KSI. We had to Google this to find out that he's an extremely popular YouTuber. I think my daughter might have mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna watch this right afterwards. KSI. I guess we could all check out KSI on YouTube. And when I watched him, I was frankly none the wiser, but I also strongly suspect that he's not going to be shedding any tears about this, as he has more than 20 million subscribers on YouTube. Okay, so I'm really interested now, because I always like to explore the subjectivity world of humor. So it'd be funny, as I suspect that if my generation found KSI hilarious, he would be less funny to young people. My son, 13, is currently obsessed with watching YouTube compilations of Vines, the now defunct short video social media site. Vines is some of my favorite. He was horrified when I told him that I used to have a Vine account. Mom. So all this variation in what we find funny has much less to do with Vines, KSI, and me, and more to do with something that happens when we all get older. Younger people come along and they can have radically different ideas about what is musical, what is fashionable, and critically for this article, what is funny. They are their own exclusive group. And then here's the last part, brain networks. The fact that humor is about social bonding and cohesion, whether this comes from relieving stress or bullying others, is supported by neuroscience. Humor in the brain rests on very similar networks to those that support human language comprehension in a more general sense. Common areas of activation for humorous material include the anterior temporal lobes, which are closely associated with the representation of semantic meaning, and the temporal parietal junction and superior frontal lobes, which are often activated when we need to think about what things mean and how words can relate to each other. One study argued that the superior frontal gyrus was critical to the appreciation of humor in a joke, and that stimulating this region with direct electrical currents makes jokes seem funnier. However, as shown, these regions are seen in other tasks too, so it may be hard to disassociate our sense of humor from our ability to process both linguistic meaning and social meaning. And it's hard not to see why evolution would have favored this. Humans who collaborate successfully using understanding of the world and other humans have better chances of survival. That right there, to me, a secular humanist, yeah, that's it. That's everything that I know and that I feel. Humans who collaborate successfully using understanding of the world and other humans have better chances of survival. So what makes the jokes funny? We have made great strides in understanding the scientific basis on laughter and humor processing, but until we can incorporate the social and cultural complexities of humor fully, we will remain mystified by how people can enjoy comedy that we find lame. That was so good. I feel like my brain was just like filled up to another level. So I'm curious if you all have any thoughts, if that made you think about anything, brought anything to realization for you. And if you're on Facebook, look, the first thing I saw on Facebook was a laughing face, so that was great. All right, I think there was someone getting ready to speak. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's interesting to hear those jokes from back in history, because it seems like, I guess, disparagement is kind of part of humor, and it makes a punchline out of marginalized groups all the way through history, right?
Right.
And maybe that goes back to our hunter-gatherer instincts, of like, where it's like that mockery, where you taunt, it seems like humor is kind of intertwined in our past through that sort of, or that kind of from that vein, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, it's interesting because humor is so, like, it releases, right? It like, and right. Maybe that's a newer thing for us as we've evolved and our brains have gotten larger and whatnot. But it's
yeah, Dylan. It's funny because the more I think about my own personal humor, and I realize how basic it is, how simple it is. Like, most of the time, my deepest moments, it might even be just by myself laughing about something just really, really fucking stupid. But what I think about is that it makes sense to me that this would be so simple. Like whether it falls on the side, unfortunately, of marginalizing another group, or whether it comes on the side of dealing with something that happened to you that you're trying to cope with. It just makes the human being flow easier. Like it makes you relax. You know, besides breathing, I'm convinced that laughing is the best way to break up stress in your body. I really believe it does. And so it just so happens.
I think you touched on it though. It's
Yeah.
the simplicity of it, right?
Right.
Like and maybe even back to the attachment styles to a point where if you came from that secure, you're looking at like nature and stuff and finding like humor and love and interest in all those things, where a lot of people, some of that humor gets to the dark side, or to where that ambivalent or detached style might show itself even in laughter and those kind of things. We know it shows in love, so maybe it's just that stripping it back.
Yeah, man, it's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, I don't know, I want you guys to think, because one thing I don't believe, and personally I'm not sure if you guys believe this, but we kind of can't like separate our emotions. Like we just can't. They don't work that way.
Right.
You can't just feel one thing and then be like, yeah, I don't have any other feelings right now. That's a lie.
Right.
So with that, like, so laughter and like humor is an emotion. And so I just found it so interesting when I was listening. I was like, well, how come people do so much research on laughter, but they take it out of the context of emotion? Because when you put it in the context of emotion, it makes a lot of sense as to, okay, well, what makes you laugh is not about to make me laugh, because what makes you cry is not about to make me cry. And what makes me happy is not going to make you happy. Like it's like we all said, relative.
Right.
But if we think of it as an emotion, instead of like, well, what these people think, the younger kids, you know, they think this is funny, but why don't we think it's funny? It's just that you just don't think that's funny. You still have the ability to like be humorous and laugh and joke and understand jokes. You understand those jokes. It's just that you're you know, it's just not something that affects you that way. Like if like when people are in relationships and they say, oh well, I would let like when we were talking about attachment styles and whatnot, when you would let your but when you don't feel anxious if your partner is out all night partying and whatnot, you feel secure. And fuck, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so it's like, you know, you feel secure in that, and then like with laughter and whatnot and like jokes and things like that, it's kind of like the same, right? I think if we put in that context, it kind of makes a lot more sense.
Right. Yeah, I definitely feel you. And this is why, like, everything you said, it all falls into the pot, right? It's like, that's why I say both and. I look at the deep sea of subjectivity, right? Sometimes you might not find something funny because you don't understand it. And by understanding, that might mean something like you might not understand its relevance, like the ingredients and how they relate. Like you think about something like if you tell somebody something funny about a character on a show, the thing is you kind of have to experience that character in order
that's what I was gonna say. It's like kind of like maturity levels. Like they'll be like, oh, that's immature, but it's just because you've experienced it before and it's not new to you. So a lot of times things that are funny to you usually have to not be new, but like you can't be overexposed to it and expect to like crack up and die laughing. But I think laughing is like the extreme of that emotion, because you can still find things funny without a ha ha ha.
Well, I agree with you, but here's the funny part. The Red Fox, Sanford and Son, Die Hard lover in me is like the exact opposite. Like, I have watched every episode of Sanford and Son that they have created. Like, I used to get mad that I would go to YouTube and I couldn't find any more, right? And I would watch the same, 150 episodes or whatever it is over and over and over. And then when I tell you a circa, I laugh like it's the first time, because I think it's both and. I think there's sometimes something can be worn out and not funny anymore. And I think other times it could literally just be the expression that it just triggers you in that laughter way so much that, like, no matter how many times you see it. When we were talking about Martin the other day, no matter how many times I see that episode where he dialed 911 on that ATM machine while he was in the middle of that fight as Dragonfly Jones, if I watch it right now, I'll be cracking up like I've never seen it before. And then there are other things that I watch, and it's like, at this point it's lame. The joke maybe wasn't that deep for me. I just think it's so many factors. It's like music. It's just like music. It's so many factors. It's like you could have a joke that has one aspect to it, so it's real simple in nature. It could be like layered with different levels of joke, of jokes that you find funny from one thing to the next. It could be something that you used to find funny before you had knowledge, like say it was something marginalized against people, and then maybe as you grew, as you matured, like you said, maybe in this context you were just like, yeah, I no longer find that funny, or you might mature and actually find it even more funny. Like there's some stuff that I used to find funny that the older I get, it gets even funnier to me. It just really all depends on what it relates to, where you are on the journey. Sometimes is whether you can understand it or not. Other times it's not. It's that you fully do understand it, and that's what's making it not funny to you, because you don't agree with it. So it's like, it's just this big ball of like all different kind of pathways that laughter takes shape. And that's why I like this particular article, because they kind of said it like in a wrapping it up fashion. They were like, the one thing is, we know so many different stems, so many different lanes that it goes down, so many different pathways, neural pathways even, that it goes down as far as the different things we find funny and the connections, why, like how, and then it's so deep and so wide and so nuanced that we still are learning about it, But one thing we do know is that, and I think that's why I come back to the coping thing, because one big way that I think evolution just unfolded to give us laughter was coping. Because, I mean, if you can laugh about something like a terminal illness, or you can laugh about something like someone dying, even not because you want to make mockery, but because it's your only way to cope with the fact that these things happen. Sometimes it's healthy for you and sometimes it's not. But it's just so many factors determining how it stacks up. And then even on top of that, it's still all subjective. So it's interesting,
I was just thinking, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I think that I need to maybe find some, if they've done research on this, like connecting laughter just with emotions in general, to see, like, okay, so if I don't laugh, does that mean it's not funny? Because
you would be the person deciding. That's the thing. There's no
but that's what I'm saying.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, so right. How are we actually defining? Because if we're not like full on, like, because there's a spectrum, obviously, of things that are funny. So
here
like,
it is.
Yeah, this is funny. This is a key. Like, I can watch Martin, but I don't think I always like die laughing. I still think it's funny. Yeah. But I'm not like, oh my god, like, no.
But again, all right. So let me give it to you this way. So what we're really describing is a reaction. And the fact that reaction has different levels, not one particular thing, right? So, yeah, it's what you just said. Is the fact that funny is when you just look at it and slightly smile, and funny is when you bust out laughter, what have you. It's just, we're just saying, like, this is how we relate to it, and then it just different levels of that. One day you might smile, another day you might bust out laughing, like, yeah. So I guess I say that to say that. It sounds like you're saying that they have, like you said, not talked about emotions with relation to this, and I think that's exactly what they're talking about is emotions, and they're saying, like, based on how you feel emotionally about these other topics will determine how it triggers you in this way for this particular response, like just this response. Same way like crying is a response. right? Laughter
Yeah,
is a
no, I was
response.
just saying, like, I really want to go into that deep, like, for, like, not
Right.
every emotion, but just say, like, okay, if we're talking about being sad, then, or, being sad or happy, like, how
Right.
would you know that that's being displayed? Because happy versus laughter, can sometimes be hidden. And I don't know, I just never really, I just kind of clicked in my head, like,
Yeah.
like we've never deep, like there's a lot of articles out there about why things are funny, but there aren't like, I wouldn't say aren't, but I haven't really seen too many of like why things are sad versus why things are funny, if that makes any sense.
Real,
Like
real
putting them
easy.
all together.
Real easy.
So
It was real easy. Things that make us feel bad, or things that hurt our quality of life, or just like what we want, like that's the why. That's what makes us sad. And then things that make us feel better about our circumstances or about ourselves or what have you, that's the why it feels good, or what. But I love that you're asking the question, because like you said, that's how you find out the next level of it. I think the one thing to know, and this will be for all of us as we keep digging, is I think the biggest problem we could run into is looking for one answer when it's not a black and white thing. It's just a gradient of circumstances that make you have certain emotions, and it's interesting. But it's so fascinating. I'm with you. Let's say hi to, I see Ravanan. Hello. I see you want to come up to the stage. Let's say hello. And also to everyone hanging out on Facebook. Hello. Ravanan.
Hello, Aaron.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, what's up?
Everything is good. How are you?
You're from?
What's up with you? Where are you from?
You're from India.
Yes, welcome. Welcome.
From India in Tamil Nadu.
Uh-huh.
Tamil Nadu in Villupuram in Thanamalai.
Say that one more time. I didn't catch that.
Okay. One more time you want? Asurka. Yeah, you know Chennai.
So I can't really. Did you say thank you?
I didn't understand, Aaron.
So I was saying hi, and I was saying welcome. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Ashruka.
That's Circa. He's saying hello to us,
hi.
Hi.
Yes. So nice to meet you. I hope that you enjoyed the conversation, and thanks so much for stopping by. Thank you. I also see that we've got Deepak, we've got Joker. All right, we're gonna switch this around. Let me say hello to Arki. Hello. All right, let's see here. Joker. Hello, Joker. Hello. How are you?
Fine.
That's wonderful. Where are you from?
What about you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
Dope guy.
Thank you. Look, that means the world to me. He said, dope guy. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're a fan of Wiz Khalifa.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wiz Khalifa fans.
No, you know Wiz Khalifa.
Wow. That is beautiful. Thank you for that. And it's nice to meet you.
Hello. Asurka.
What's poppin', bro?
Big fan. You look so nice, beautiful, wonderful.
Thank you, good sir.
Thank you, Joker. Okay.
So thank you, Joker. And I hope that you enjoy the conversation.
WhatsApp number you.
Thank you.
Sorry, yeah.
Thank you, my friend.
One shout out.
Thank you. Want to say hello to Sharu, Deepak, Oh, let me mention one thing. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. So when you come to the stage, after we say hello, we have to check in with the next person. We have to say hello to the next person. So if you could, while you're on the stage,
Hey, Aro.
yes.
Yeah, enter the Mister.
I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying. Say that one more time.
You give that the person to speaker.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Hey, Aaron, I'm about to report them. I don't think you should put them on
No,
the stage.
it's all good. I got it. I appreciate it. I got
Hello, Dayalan Messi.
It's all good. You don't have to report them. Watch this. I'll show you. Watch this.
No. Like, if you look at Mister's profile, Aaron, that's like literally child porn. I'm not trying to be funny.
Oh yeah. Now that you can report. Oh yes, that.
Like I'm dead ass.
No, I look at that. You should report.
Sorry, that's why I don't like to interrupt.
No, you're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect. Now we handling this together. That we report right now. You ready? We're gonna report both right away. Like that we immediately report. Yes. And apologies to everyone who had to experience this offensive content. Yeah, now that we report immediately.
I can't even screenshot that. It's like a felony.
You can't screenshot it?
I don't feel comfortable having it on my phone.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. In fact, no, we don't have to. Just once we report it, in fact, I just reported it the first time. They will. What did it? Okay, so they ran from the room. I'm gonna block that person, of course. But yeah.
And the guy was that one guy. He was nominated by the OG Club. Like, what the fuck? That's where they all came from. It came from the OG Club, and then he invited the rest of them.
That's kind of unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm not gonna judge everybody by one person, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reset the room, and I'm gonna give some instructions. So if you come to the stage, especially if you're not from the U.S. and we have a language barrier difference, then here's what I ask you: that we say hello, and then after that you not continue to keep talking, because we have to make sure that we keep the flow and keep the time. All right. Now, if you can cooperate with that, then you can definitely hang around. You can stay, be part of the conversation. You're more than welcome, but you can't talk too much because we have to keep it going. All right. So, and you can't have conversations with each other right away. All right. So let's try. Let's see how far we get. Sharu, hello. Hi, Sharu. Hi, Sharu. Hello. How are you? All right. So I'm going to imagine that you don't want to speak. So I'm going to move you back to the audience.
Hello.
All right. This is fun because this is how you learn how to deal with people.
Also, there's actual bots, like for real bots that can physically talk to us.
Yep.
That's the creepy part.
Well, here's the part that even while that's creepy, why I like to know that we don't have to have anything to worry about, because we can hear and feel authenticity even through a bot. I promise you.
I can't. I'm just saying,
you know what I mean?
It's just weird. It's like, what is y'all's purpose?
Right. Purpose is just to be who they are, and us to be who we are. All right. So Dava Raioli, hello.
Hello, guys.
Hi. How are you?
Fine. How are you doing?
Doing fine. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes.
Hey. Where are you from?
I'm from India, Kerala.
Yes. I think you are the fifth person I've met here from Kerala. So nice to meet you.
I have a suggestion for you.
You have what for me?
In early, a man with name Mr. with a photo.
Oh, yes.
You got, yeah?
Yes.
Actually, that's not something like pornography, child pornography. That's a culture of India, which they take a photo of every kid in the early age. That's something like a tradition.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you for explaining that to me. And it's interesting because I think what's going to happen is that Clubhouse will have to, they're going to have to put a restriction on those kind of photos because, and this is an interesting, very interesting moment, because even though it's culturally acceptable there, it's not in many other places. So they might have to put a restriction just to not to offend, certain people, like what happened here, earlier. Wow, yeah. See, and this is why I love being in the midst of this moment, being in the midst of this time period, because I'm not afraid of all the things that happen here. What I know is that we are a part of establishing the etiquette here. So this is just how it goes.
We all have that photo, but we don't want to put it on DP. That's so creepy,
Yes, it is. And thank you. Right. And thank you for saying that, because it is, like you said, and this is, oh man, this is a very, very important moment, because this is what I talk about, and this is what we've been talking about. So even though it is accepted culturally there, it is good to be mindful that it's not accepted everywhere. And so you might want to make a decision not to have a photo like that. Now,
I think also, like, I would be worried more for, like, that there are perverts out there. So I understand it's definitely a cultural tradition, but I don't think it should be, like, put on, like, social media like that. Like, what the, like,
well, I feel
I don't know.
Well,
it's like, I understand that these things are done, but, like, to be shared with strangers, like, out, because we have Facebook,
but
and so, like,
I gotta be right now. But I feel you. I gotta be honest with you though. It's because it's so interesting. I so feel you. But the wild part is going back to the subjectivity thing again. Like a person, now you might not be able to see this because you might be like, "Why?" Like it makes no sense. But it'd be just like you said earlier. It only makes sense to you if it makes sense to you. So someone might look at your profile pic and just go like, "Wow." Like pink hair, like what, like who, like why would you do, like, even if that's what you want to do, don't put it out there like that. Put only your natural hair color, because they might see it as, and it's like, that's not really anything to you, that's just, that's you. So like it does get into those deep waters of like, we could kind of say the same thing in opposite directions. It's kind of like I told my daughter the other day. We were talking about eating food. And we were talking about how, you take certain meats that we eat, and if you look at something like a chicken or something like a fish, for many of us, that's normal. There's no there's nothing terrible about that. Like it's a chicken, it's a fish. But as soon as you talk about eating a cicada or eating a cricket or something like that, we're like, ugh. It's neither nor like fine. It's just perspective. It's just what you've been exposed to. It's just that. There's no more nasty to eat a roach than it is to eat a chicken. It just depends on how long you've been eating one or the other and what you just experience as the norm, and so unfortunately that's it. Societal norms, cultural norms, and what will happen, even with that report that we just did, what will more than likely happen is Clubhouse, because it's all growing together, Clubhouse will realize like, oh wow, this is something that we're learning about the culture that we didn't even know was a thing. And so now, since we've learned that, now we have to sit down at the table and say, okay, what do we do about that? And then more likely, yes, they will make sure, and they will go through in a nuanced way, put a restriction on something like that, because that affects more of the world in a negative way than pink hair does. And here's the thing, I hate to say it, but foundationally, neither one of them are right or wrong or anything, even though I feel that one is okay and not okay. I'm just saying that at the bottom line of subjectivity and all of this kind of thing is just, we're making up the rules. And there are many times when we do have to rule in favor of the majority when it comes to say something like this. I would agree to it. But it's a weird thing. Okay, I want to open this up for some other voices and see what other people think. Brother Meyer, let's say good morning to Meyer. What's up, broski?
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
How's it going, Circa, Aaron?
Yo.
Deborah, Rolly, Dylan. I was like, do I just risk everybody's name. And I was like, yep, I'm risking for the biscuit.
That's it.
What was I gonna say? Okay, I want to ask, what is it that we're talking about in terms of putting on profiles? Because I think I missed the first part, so it's just been this long, vague, cryptic thing of how could you put that on there?
Here
I'm
it is.
so curious.
Right, here it is. So right now, we this app has opened up to India and some other countries where now a lot of our beautiful friends are pouring in from elsewhere. And so what happened was that there was a person in here who had a profile pic that was of a naked child. And it was
okay.
Yeah, and it was in the midst of another kind of disturbance that was happening, so it kind of shook us up for a second. And a circle pointed out, we both reported it because it didn't look healthy. And then Dava Raioli, who is also from India, but had better manners and these kind of things than what was happening before that, explained to us that it may not have been something offensive. It's culturally, that's actually something that's norm, because it could have just been a picture of the person. And then we got into like the fact that we don't know which one it was, and that at the end of the day they'll probably have to ban something like that regardless. Blah blah blah. And that's what came forward to where we are now.
Okay, yeah, the nitty gritty of like, I guess, culture clashes and like what's malice, what's just like bumps.
Right.
So that's kind of like, that's gonna be an interesting thing, because I feel like this app specifically is gonna like, I guess, globalize us in a way that we haven't done yet. So I feel like there's gonna be this like online hive mind of like cultural norms that's already kind of being built a little bit.
Right.
But I think it's just gonna spread more out, and so like all kinds of shit like that is going to be ironed out. Right. And I would like to take my docket number and officially insert myself in the grand triage to ask, what is the deal with baby boomers always taking pictures of us naked in the bathtub?
Right.
Why? Like, everyone's parents have that one photo of you naked in the bathtub.
Right.
Why are you taking photos of me naked in the bathtub?
And see, and that, my friend, that's just the thing, because as soon as you said that, for me, the first thing I thought of was my innocent mother who just, didn't see nakedness as something taboo and was coming from such a positive place. And then you have from there to the other side and everything in between. And that's just the thing, it's tough. But that's why, like you said, and I love what you said about us working together to get to the bottom of it, knowing that these things will be sorted out. This is why the conversation is so important. This is why this is why what we're doing every day. It's why it's so important. I always say, like, it's not that we'll all agree on everything. That's not the deal. It's that we get a chance to hear different perspectives, which hearing different perspectives automatically opens you up to looking at things in different ways. And even if you still hold the same position, you at least know more. It's at least more informed than it was, or is more intentional. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's not so good. So
I love it.
Yeah,
it's a chance to grow.
Yes. So I want to, okay, so we just met Dava Raioli today, and I want to say hi again because we got kind of tripped up with a bunch of things going on. And what it means, this is why I love this, because I get a chance to practice, in knowing that we have so many people from all around the world, but also knowing that we have different forms of etiquette, and what's normal in some places might not be so normal in other places. Then you have language barriers, then you have all of this, and you have to try to figure it out. I love being in the midst of that because I'm not afraid of it, number one. Number two, I know that that's the way to work things out. It's all you have. You just got to face it and then work with it, sort it out. You have to let your intentions show so that people can realize when your intentions are to be kind and friendly, but also remain in control and, try to run things smoothly. You just have to rely on that. You have to trust yourself.
Oh, yeah. Can I add something onto that, actually,
Please,
real quick?
Please, brother.
I love what you're saying, and etiquette is 100% the word. And it's like we're kind of like figuring out this global social etiquette. And so the one caveat I always want to add is that, like, we can't ever just be biased and think that, you know, because something's normal to us, it's correct.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And I think we're all kind of like learning that, especially with like COVID, for example. We realized that, like, you know, we shouldn't be going into work with a cold and no mask on. We shouldn't be going into and like that was just a social etiquette we had in North America that was just completely like, you know, that probably seems crazy to like anyone else. It's like, what do you mean you're just sneezing on people like a crazy person?
Right.
So,
right.
You know, as we're like all communicating with each other and learning from each other, we're figuring out, you know, like what serves us, what doesn't serve us. And like, I just love keeping it like as open as possible, knowing that like a lot of the things I grew up considering normal are probably like not normal or weird, you know?
Yeah.
Like I probably shouldn't be drinking as much milk as I drink.
Leave it right. All of us. Did y'all know that we are the only animal that consumes another animal's milk?
Wrong. My cat drinks cow milk.
Right, that's because you give it to her. I'm talking.
And that's what we give babies. You can't sit here and say this on the baby's fault.
No, it's not the baby's fault. I was just saying, like. All right, let me see.
I know what you're saying, though.
Right, I'm about to say I must have messed up the way I phrased it. I'm like, wait a minute, I know I learned.
No, I get it. What about those fish that eat like all the garbage and other fish's teeth?
Yeah. What about the parasites that just eat the garbage, period, that cleans off the other fish? And we're like, wow. Like, it's just, man, this is the thing. This is why I come down to acceptance. It's the thing that brings me peace. But my acceptance isn't looking at the world through a pretty lens. It's just like, man, this thing really is just however you look at it. I could look outside right now. I can see a beautiful tree. Or I could see an organism with organisms on top of organisms on top of organisms. That's just, if I saw that actually as like bugs or something, I'd be like, this is the most disgusting thing ever. Or it's eating itself and it's the most disgusting thing ever. Or not. Like, it's just in the eye of the beholder. Which is why I think that the most important thing is to not get overly optimistic about life and making everything so beautiful and because you start investing in everything looking a particular way. Not to let the overwhelmingly negative things pull you in that direction, but to stay in the center, you know, to stay in that center. So, yeah.
I have just one thing. So, like, with that whole situation with Mr. I'm at what's his face left, but that's my life. Anyway.
He'll be back.
So one thing I don't know. I just want us to be very aware. Because I definitely understand that we shouldn't just judge people and say that, you know, this is wrong because what we do is right. But I just want us to really look at this like situation and look at it that there was a person who had a child, like who had no followers, first of all. No one was following them at all. They were following about 16 people. So that means they selected the people that they followed.
Or their phone selected it for them, like most do, where it's all the checks and you just go, okay, whatever.
Yeah, but that's 50. I'm not trying to even like...
No, that person might only have 16 in their phone. Like, it could, I'm just saying, it could, it doesn't,
I'm just
it can't.
trying to break the situation. I get what you're saying, but I just, let me get to it. So like, I'm just breaking the situation down because my intuition went off and it went off. So my intuition is always right. I can give y'all all the explanations and y'all be like, yeah, no. Okay, fine. Don't believe him. That's cool. But my intuition went off. And when we're talking about children and their safety, I just want us to be really aware that these are children that we're talking about.
Yes.
And that maybe your kids maybe no, you hold on one second. That maybe like your parents did innocently take these pictures of you as a child, but there were predators out there that were doing the same. And that there's predators out there that are doing the same thing, trying to disguise things like that.
Yes.
And so that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying to disregard the tradition or anything.
Right.
All I'm saying is that there are people out there that want to do harm to children.
Very much
and
so.
If that was a legitimate picture of like that person's child and it was from, you know, it's a cultural tradition and things like that, I definitely, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's like if my intuition goes off, it had nothing to do with and I didn't even know where this person was from. All I saw was a baby and
So a
their
circuit,
legs were open and stuff. And so I was like, whoa, like
a circuit. Let
that's
me
a little much. Like
a circuit.
my intuition was already going off randomly,
Yes.
and I can understand it. So I was like, yeah.
Yes, a circuit. And so I thank you for stating what you stated, because everything that you just stated is exactly what we're doing. It's what we're doing together. You know, it's literally knowing that there are things that are positive, where people have positive intentions and they're fine, and knowing that there are negative intentions. It's actually holding the yin and the yang. So what you're saying is exactly what we're doing. We are being self-aware. I still feel the same way that I felt from the beginning when I reported it, and I hope that it gets found. It's just exactly what you're saying. It's leaving room for both sides. It's knowing like, hey, regardless. See, here's the thing. Regardless of whether that was or not something negative, I'm still completely happy that I reported it. Because again, like a circus said, like you just said, and like everyone else says here, and like we know, it's good happening and positive things and not so good. So am I understanding you correctly, Acirca, that we should know that while there's positive, that there's also some very sick people out there?
Yeah, I would just say like just not to always allow, because what a lot of times what people will do is be like, yeah, like just disregard it, and that's how children get like abused. Like this is all for me about child abuse.
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you. That's why I'm right here with you.
There's so many kids that have been like just overlooked because it's like, oh yeah, my parents used to take pictures of me naked too. Like that's fine. Like okay,
and cool. Right, and
but yeah,
right.
And then you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, that's cool, but like these people were actually abusing this child.
That's why and now I'm with you. That's why as soon as Maya mentioned it, and I was like, wow, that made me think about my innocent mother and the people on the completely opposite end of the spectrum. You know, it's just, that's what this whole thing is. So that's why, like I said, it's good for us to be mindful. And again, I thank you for reminding us. Here's the thing. If you recognize, that's exactly what we're doing. And I'm with you so much because like you said, firsthand experience takes it to another level. So I'm with you on that. Just know and be reassured that what you desire as far as that self-awareness, that's exactly what I'm practicing every day. And that's what we're practicing together. And that's why we're working together. Family, I want to say hello to Safna, Vishak, Marcy, T, and of course the good brother Dylan. We are here. If you'd like to come to the stage, want to say hello, by all means, you can raise your hand. Also wanted to ask Dava Raioli, you were getting ready to say something. I wanted to let you speak. And thank you for being patient. If you can hear me.
Okay, I need to tell, I'm not supporting them. Right. I only mean to say something like knowledge to you. My English are bad.
Share knowledge, right?
Don't mind. I don't supporting child abuse or something.
Right.
This is a normal doing thing in India and Kerala because the parents love to the children.
Right.
You know.
Right. I love that.
But I also supporting you for guys because he not need to put a DP on a social media like this. That is, I'm supporting you. Okay.
Yes, I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. See, and that's what I'm talking about. That's that beautiful balance. He said, "I do not support that at all. I was just I
only need to know something about that." Because your culture is not our culture, our culture is not your culture.
Right.
You know?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And it's also spiritual.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And that's exactly what I was saying. Thank you. Thank you. That was exactly what I was saying right there, you know. And I love how you shared that. You shared, I'm not supporting because I don't support child abuse and these kind of things. I was just sharing something that you might not know just for knowledge about the culture. I love that. Thank you. I also want to do a reset to say if there's anyone else who'd like to come to the stage, got a few more minutes here. Would love to say hello. Would love to say good morning, check in, or good day. See how you're doing. I see Safna has their hand raised. Gonna say good day. Hi, Safna.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I am doing wonderful. Have you been enjoying the conversation?
Yeah, very much because Davre is sort of my brother.
You said who's your brother? Oh,
She said
Deverly.
sort of.
Oh, sort of
Yeah.
your brother.
I
Yeah.
feel, yeah, actually, in fact, I feel very proud that he is taking a stand against this.
Yes.
And his English is not actually that much good. So he's trying to convey that
Yes.
India is very high in child abuse and all. So
Yes.
we didn't support this at all. Still, we all have photos. Even I also have photos like small child, but
Yes.
we didn't put or exhibit on social media. We
Right.
should respect the privacy of other people. Even
Yes.
we are not comfortable by peeking on that photo and saying something or saying about the world matters.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
And I love it. Thank you so much for saying that. Because
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was sharing. And I so appreciate that this continues to affirm what we're saying. It's important to be aware, be open, but be aware, you know? And so we reported it. I think, Circa, were you able to report it? I hit it right
Yep.
away. Yeah, so you got 2 reports. Clubhouse will be on it. And this is what I love because we get a chance to make this environment better and better and better and better by being
Yeah.
balanced. You know, there will be times when someone will do something and it will fall in the realm of we'll sit down at the table and we'll realize like, wait a minute, this isn't so bad actually, and this makes sense, and then we'll continue to fight against things that don't make sense. It's what I love about Clubhouse because I know this from the bottom of my heart that we as the practitioners and the people that are here as well as the developers are all focused on one thing, and that's keeping this environment as healthy as possible. Because if this whole Clubhouse environment, if it becomes poison with toxic people and they aren't able to be controlled and removed, then this entire thing will crumble. Because the thing that's so beautiful about this is that in positivity, we get a chance to connect and have some really positive benefits and outcomes. So thank you. And Safna, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Kerala,
Kerala.
India.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you and welcome. Oh, that's some beautiful singing. That's some beautiful chanting going in the background.
Yeah, same here. In
Wow.
fact, this is my first platform in Clubhouse where I shared my opinion. It feels like
Wow.
I should say something. Yeah, I
Oh.
usually not prefer to say anything on Clubhouse. I just listen only. But today,
Oh.
I can't resist
Oh.
myself from speaking something.
Oh, thank you so much. That really means a
Yeah,
lot. That really means a
yeah,
lot. And so, thank you for stopping by, and I hope that you continue to enjoy the conversation. And I like to tell
yeah.
everyone, welcome to the family. Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome to the family. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hey Dylan, I saw that you popped back in, bro. Did you have any thoughts about what we were sharing? And I also want to say hey to Marcy and T. If you all like to come to the stage, by all means, throw up a wave. And if we're helping you to take on your day in the most positive way, then you know what it is. Thank you so much, as always, for stopping by and for hanging out. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that when that happened, we were having it was a great point of the conversation.
Yeah.
But I jumped off too and sent an email to the founders and just kind of explained exactly what you guys just said. It was like it could be a misunderstanding, but
Right.
not appropriate.
Right.
So just maybe influx or who knows. So
Right.
it's just at least it's there. I came back up just to kind of sit and support with everyone. I didn't want to feel like I was just bailing. So
No doubt.
which
Thanks,
was
bro.
kind of the point where I was gonna get right to. We were talking about the humor thing.
Yeah.
And I think what maybe part of the connection we were missing was that that comes from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then we internalize it in our minds, and that's where maybe we get lost in the essence of humor is, you know, we get degrade people, so that's we were going into that. It totally changed directions, but
Yeah, no, I get it.
it was just an interesting yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Dylan, even though it seems like you changed direction, you know, this is one thing I love about it and why I flow in this way, even as far as improvisationally as well as with structure. You know, there's no such thing in this realm because of just how we're moving and the intention that we have set, which is just be here and just flow in conversation. What you just said is right back on point with everything that happened today and even where we started as far as humor. Right. And so here's why, because when you say matters of the heart, this is when it comes down to, once again, the basics, which is this. It depends on where your heart is. It depends on like everything that we do. If for a second we just use the heart to say like just, you know, really how we feel, like to the most authentic way that we feel, and that's whether we are inclusive or racist. Like it's just unfortunately like where our heart is, how we feel, based on the circumstances, based on what we're told, the conditioning, the culture, whether we receive good love and not, like whole list of things. From there, you're going to do everything that you do. And then what it boils down to is like, there's just some things that you do from the heart, even though you mean it, and sometimes don't mean harm. You're just trying to protect yourself. And that's harmful. And then there's sometimes when it's not, it's very beneficial. You know, I don't think there's any way to corner it and really like do anything other than just keep talking about the examples and the experiences that we have and keep analyzing them to see if they're healthy or if they're not. You know, look at it with the rest of the research and the evidence that we have, like just different things, because that's why I don't believe in perfection. What I believe is progress in the process, progress and process. And that is just under one word of what we know as evolution. It's just that there's certain things right now that we don't do anymore because we now label them as harmful or negative. And before, you know, we didn't label them as that. Some things were harmful. See, again, it just keeps going down to what do you define as harmful and all that kind of stuff. But my point is, I was going to try to get to a point to at least say some things are by definition of what we define as harmful, and then some things weren't, but we just changed our opinions. We just had different preferences. It's just this big influx based on preferences, education, exposure, more knowledge, and not knowing everything. Like, yeah. So.
No, I get it. You know, and I use laughter as a defense mechanism, and it's super inappropriate sometimes. I didn't realize it because of kind of the way I was raised.
Yeah.
And I had to start learning that, like, wow, people are not taking this right, and I'm laughing at the worst time, and and I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm just like, that's how I deal with shit sometimes.
Right.
But I didn't realize that to you know, filter myself to say that's not okay. Like, I don't need to be defensive in that moment in that way to offend other people.
Right.
So.
Right. 100%. It's all about intention. So that's why we keep reviewing our intentions. I always say the pathway that goes to this idea that we already have all the answers. I don't care how good the philosophy feels. I don't care, you know, how much it worked up into this particular point. It will always be deficient if it doesn't have a way to be open to new ideas, new things, at least examine them, and also examine itself again and again and again, and not continue to assume that it's the truth or the most relevant thing. I really think that's the only way to win, because as soon as you stop at the place of asking questions, as soon as you stop at the place of not like being balanced enough to just say, okay, things could be this way or that way. Like, you have to be open while still being clear and intuitive, like Circle was mentioning earlier. It's that balance. It's that yin and that yang. Sometimes your intuition will be wrong. That's just life. That's just the norm. Sometimes it will be amazingly right. The man, the woman, the person that knows something knows that they know nothing at all. The greatest awareness that you can have is the awareness to know that there are some things you're not aware of, because that keeps you in that state of flow for learning. Anything else, it might be good, but it's going to eventually, you're going to face a wall where you might need to reconsider things, but you don't know how to. You mentally and from your heart don't know how to. This is all you've known. This is all that has worked. Yeah. So yeah, I want to open up the floor if there's anyone else who want to drop a few more thoughts before we tie a bow up on this experience. And I'm also, speaking of laughter, I'm going to tell you a few funny things that have happened to me over the course of my years. Things that are at least, if no one else, funny to me. So also, if you'd like to come to the stage, you can. And I also want to say hey to my Facebook friends. I didn't get a chance to say hey to RC. Thank you, says listening to you while building my Gundam Aka. I can't even pronounce this. Wow. Okay, you're going to have to put a translation for me for what that is. It sounds amazing, though, but I can't be too quick to judge. Thanks so much, RC. I appreciate you. And thanks for everyone who hung out with me yesterday, too, for the session last night. It was a great time. All right, so last call. If there's anyone who'd like to come to the stage. I wanted to see if my mom was around. Speaking of laughs, speaking of bag of laughs. All right, so if there's anyone who would like to come to the stage, by all means, last call. And if anyone has anything else to share with related to this topic, by all means, the floor is yours. All right. All right, so I'm going to actually text my mom. See if my mom will come through. Now, this will be the greatest laugh ever, I promise y'all. The funny thing is, my mom's been a comedian longer than I've realized. Hey, are you available now to talk on the phone? All right, so I'll make a bet with you all. If I know my mother well enough, if she happens to click in right now, I bet somebody in here, at least $1, I'll have you flash your mic if you bet me, that the first thing my mother is going to say is, boy, what do you want?
I was just saying, I was thinking that. I was like, you texting her just so she come in here and be like, what do you want?
What do you want? So here's the funny part. And this is why I know my mom is a comedian. Because if I was calling her on a regular phone, she wouldn't say that. But at the same time, my mother loves this. And I realize how my mother jokes me at times. I'm like, oh, you've been getting me all of these years. So anywho, to tell you a little bit more about my mom and even why I wanted to pop in. The other day, my mother was highlighted in a woman's magazine. If you are on Facebook right now, I'm getting ready to show you that magazine. And if you're not on Facebook, why the hell not? You can find me over at Aaron Hill TV. Look for the red and black profile picture. And I'm getting ready to show you a few pictures of my mother. So my mother is right here. Serendipity. That's my mom down in the audience.
Serendipity and a text message.
Yep. That's my mom, Cheryl, there in the audience. And so I just text her. And Ma, if you want to come up to the stage, by all means, throw up the wave. I was just telling them we were speaking of all kinds of things. Laugh, humor, having fun. And then I was also telling them about some things. Good morning. So if you hit the accept invite button, you will be on the stage. All right, I gotta give my mom a few seconds. She's just getting used to it. Good morning.
What do you want? I'm getting ready to go in Walmart. What do you want?
Give me a chicken from Walmart. Give me a chicken from Walmart.
Oh, okay. A rotisserie. Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
all right. So somebody else open up your microphone. Was I right, everybody? A circa Maya. Was I right?
Everybody, a circa. Maya, was I right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you got me coming through your car speakers.
Oh, you got me coming through your car speakers.
Yeah.
We-
Who, me?
Yeah.
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 I
I
can hear
said I
myself.
was getting ready to get out of the car to go in Walmart.
Okay. All right. Can you do me a favor? Can you turn your car off so that
Okay.
I'm
All
just
right, can you do me a
through
favor?
your,
Can you turn your car so that
your phone?
I'm just coming
My
through
car
your,
is turned off.
phone.
The motor is turned off.
Wow. You got some magic stuff happening.
What?
Some magic stuff happening.
What happened? What does it sound like?
I can hear myself loud. Right, we're in a loop. I can hear myself loud and clear.
Right, we're in a loop. I can hear myself loud and clear.
It sounds like some bad drugs.
Maybe y'all should talk.
Sounds like some bad drugs.
I sound terrible.
All right, I'm gonna move you to the audience.
No, just the loop. The loop.
So now you see where I got my hip hop sense from. My mom's been looping since '82. All right, let me bring you back to the stage, Mom. Let me see if it goes away. There's like a weird like loop. All right, come on back to the stage.
She's trying to go to Walmart. You claim.
Oh yeah, you gotta go to Walmart. Okay, so when you come out of Walmart, if you would like to, I was starting to tell. Oh, you can listen to us while you're in Walmart. That'd be even cooler. So I was. Oh hey T, what's up T? How you feeling, bro? T, what's happening, broski? Hope you're well, man. I think you probably wanted to come to stage to say hello to my mom. So she'll come back in a few. We'll walk her through Walmart. We'll take you through Walmart. Okay. So I was telling you all that the other day, my mom was really, really fortunate to be highlighted in a woman's magazine. This woman's magazine is called What Up Baltimore. So if you are with me on Facebook at Aaron Hill TV, I'm about to share my screen right now, and you are looking at a beautiful cover of a woman's magazine with all of these beautiful women's hands, all different diverse cultures. Such a beautiful collage. And at the bottom, What Up Baltimore by Christina Flowers. So my mother happened to be interviewed by this woman, Christina, and she's in the magazine. This is my beautiful mother. If you're looking at the screen, Cheryl Lawson, Butterfly of the Month. And here's what she said. I'm a mother, grandmother, and a retired elementary school teacher. I taught for 36 years in the Baltimore school system. In 2020, we were all in the pandemic, shut down, and one day I was in Ollie's and I said to God, I need a project. Since we are going to be confined in our homes, I was in the book section of the store and I spotted the adult coloring books and started there. Then the Black Lives Matter movement started. I began to create on canvas my own posters around Black Lives Matter. Then my drawings started centering around encouragement during these dark times. Now I have a potpourri of topics and drawings to encourage people. I've been enjoying utilizing my artistic ability. In the beginning, I was reluctant about doing pop-ups around the city at the parks. I took that leap, that faith leap, and God has anointed my work. People have supported me financially and verbally. Most importantly, the children have been impressed as well. They even started a conversation about my artwork and have encouraged their parents to purchase a piece for them. I'm just so excited to have brought joy to so many people during these times. And then this next picture that I'm showing you now is a few pieces from my mom. Her Juneteenth 1865 piece. You can see a beautiful picture of her on the right, and then she's got a couple pictures of women with beautiful hats, and then she did a drawing of DMX too. So this is just the beginning. You can see so many more of these pieces from my mom. If you follow her on Facebook, and if you're on my page, you'll see this is my mom right here, Cheryl Lawson. In fact, I'll go over to her page. Let me loop this. Mad Lib. You a Mad Lib fan, Meyer?
Kind of like the tip of the iceberg a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I'm not as up as I should be.
It's all good, bro. There's no should be. You just you just a little bit more up now with this beat in the background than you were before. This joint is called Unreleased Beat. This joint is fire. As you can hear, he's got the Anita Baker. What is that? Rapture. Oh. Fire. Yeah, so my mother, you can catch her over on Facebook really more than me. I put my mom on Facebook, and my mom now is having so much fun, bringing so much light and love to people. If you go over to her page right here, Cheryl Lawson, you'll actually see a lot more of her photos, and all these photos will definitely bring a smile to your face. A lot of her paintings and the different things that she posts. Yeah, so I hope you are getting everything you need to get at Walmart. And that's my mom, y'all. Yes. All right, family. So, as I always like to do, I wanted to tell you all a few quick, probably gonna hang out to 11 here. So I want to tell you all a few interesting things that have happened to me that I find hilariously funny. And so I started this shenanigans book, and this is just about funny things that have happened to me that I've thought about. Let's see, where do I want to start? Okay, so here's something that happened. Where'd you go? All right, so this is me and my homeboy. He'll be called Inexperienced Best Friend. So when I think about humor, the good thing is that he wasn't traumatized by this. He laughed his ass off. Gym humor. So this is me. I'm looking at my buddy. We're at the gym, 5 o'clock in the morning. He's promised me, yeah, man, I'm going with you. I'm there. Let's get it. Let's work out. So me, I'm like, hey, you ready to work out, man? Inexperienced best friend. Yeah, man. Question, how do you do chin-ups? Me, well, now this is my homeboy from from way back. Oh my gosh. So I said, hey, look, well, this is what you do. You position your feet shoulder width apart. Keep your arms relaxed to your side. You assume good posture, and you nod your head up and down, raising and lowering your chin slowly while looking in the mirror to monitor your form closely. This is how you do a chin up. I was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna run in the bathroom, but you can get started. I'll be right back. He's like, okay, cool. He assumed the position. Stood up straight, had his arms down to the side, looked in the mirror, and with everything he had, he nodded his head up and down. He was doing his chin-ups. So I went to the bathroom, peeking around the corner. I was cracking up. When I tell y'all we laughed about that to no end. We laughed about that to no end. To this day, we still talk about that. He's like, bro, you were an absolute fool, man. That is not how you do chin-ups. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay, popcorn. For some reason, I only know how to eat popcorn in huge handfuls and non-stop until the entire bag is gone. But the crazy part is I don't eat any other food that kind of way. Is anybody else like that? Like, if you eat popcorn, I can't just eat like one at a time. It's like the only food. I have no idea why that is.
Oh, where you just have to like shovel your face full of popcorn?
Just fucking shovel, like literally nonstop.
Yeah,
Like,
me too. I gotta do that.
can't stop until the bag is gone. It's like, yo, this is interesting. Okay, so this was one day I'm out and about. I walk past a dude who I can undoubtedly say he's keeping it 100 in life. So much so that he decided to tattoo that exact red emoji on the front of his neck. No, I'm not joking. Only thing is, he might not realize he just took away his room for natural human margin of error. In other words, his ass better not ever get caught in a lie. ever. Oh my gosh, yo. And again, here's the thing. I get it. Like, hey, I don't have tattoos, but hey, enjoy them. But it is something to think about. If you put keeping it 100 on the front of your neck, I just hope you never get caught in a lie. Because I don't know how you're going to get out of that. All right.
Oh, man, that's such a specific tattoo to have right on your neck. Oh, no.
Right.
I mean, I got the old soul on the side of mine, so, like, I guess I can't act childish ever.
Right. Oh, my gosh. So this one day when I, had this mask shit on, I'm trying to blow something off my phone. You blow something off your phone and you forget that you have an entire mask on. You ever have a time where like you're looking for something that you have right there on you? Like you're looking for your phone, but it's in your hand. You're looking for your glasses and they're like on your face. Like, what's going on? So a wise woman once told me, she said, "Sonny, everyone can sing. It's just that some of us sound god awful while doing it. That's all." Yeah. So I've had some crazy things happen. Here's my father. My father's the only person I know who can get so heated and passionate in a conversation that he could like start naming something else. So one day he got so passionate about a game between the Ravens and Jaguars that he didn't realize that for 3 minutes straight after that, he was referring to the Jacksonville Jaguars as the Jackson 5. And he was like, "Man, I can't stand the Jackson 5. Like they should have never won against the Ravens." And my father does not have Alzheimer's. I think my father be fucking with me. I'm gasping for air, so I cannot interrupt. And my father's the only person I know, until I just told a circuit this earlier, the only person I know that watches a movie for the 5th time but reacts to everything like it's the first time. Every time he watches it, he even asks questions and other commentary that you can't do. Like, it's only usually possible the first time. Like, I wonder what's going to happen when she does this. I'm like, Dad, you seen this movie? And nah, he doesn't have dementia or Alzheimer's. He's just my father. He's just Joe Hill. That's why I get the double scoop of foolishness. I get it from my mom and from my dad. Oh my gosh. Okay. So last one. When you see a dude walking his bike uphill, a mile uphill, because he was so caught up in like dope customization mode that he put an amazingly looking smaller tire on the front and totally forgot to think about physics. So in my neighborhood, people used to do this. They would like switch out the tires because they thought it looked cooler to have like a little tire in the front and all this kind of thing. Until your ass got to go up a hill. Realize you can't even really ride that joint. He had to walk that shit uphill. And I can see how bad he was. Like, God damn it. This shit looks slick until I realized it's not practical. Now, here's the thing. Is that funny or not? He might have had 40 miles to walk. And I might not have found it funny. Then again, if he was only walking up the street to his house a block, I might have been like, okay, this is funny, because he wasn't too harmed by that equation. The subjectivity of humor. The subjectivity of so many things in life. So yeah. All right, so one more for you. This was another dude I rode past. I rode past a dude who was looking at every car that passed with a look that said, "Do you see me? I'm sexy, I'm chocolate, and I'm cutting the shit out of this grass with my shirt off." Now, he was a good looking dude. I mean, like, okay, he was cool. But it was just so funny how hard he was trying. What really made me laugh though was once I realized it when I looked in my rearview mirror, and he had this like, how dare a car pass me and not notice me look. Y'all, I was in tears. This dude was putting in work, and the least of which had to do with the grass. That shit was funny as hell. All right, y'all. That's some of the foolish shenanigans that have happened in my life that I think about every day. So, yeah. So on that tip, family, before we get out of here, y'all know how it is. Two things we always end with. Number one, a couple deep breaths. Number two, accountability. Is there anything that I can stand in accountability with you on? Anyone that's hanging out, anyone that has anything to share. If you're hanging out on Facebook, you can drop it there. Go back to my friends. So yeah, if there's anything that, a goal for your day, a goal for your week, a goal for your life, that we can stand together in accountability on, by all means, the stage is yours, the floor is yours.
Well, if no one else has anything, I'm gonna plug my album that's dropping at the end of the week real quick.
Let's get it.
Got 100% of my attention, and I'm super excited for that.
Yes, sir.
So, pray I don't fuck up this campaign.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man. So yeah, tell us more about it, bro.
The record's called Tour Support. It's me and my good friend Boney Washington. You've probably heard a couple of the joints already because I've been pushing the singles throughout the year. Yeah. And it's basically like an album about how we met on tour, opening for a headliner that basically didn't really give a shit, and how we were like, okay, we got to take this seriously and do our own thing. And so the whole track is just about like setting up your own shop, or the whole record rather is about setting up your own shop. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. It's been a long time producing, mixing, recording, like doing everything for this one.
Right.
And yeah, it's finally coming out. Oh, and the fucking distribution was a nightmare. I had to resubmit this album 5 times. So
Wow.
that was crazy. But it finally went through. It's dropping Friday.
Yo, I love it. Thanks for bringing this to our realization. Question, bro. Is Boney on Clubhouse?
I don't think he is. I gotta invite him. Gotta get him on here. He's not the biggest socials
right
guy.
Here's why I asked. So I've seen you all do work together. I've been, since we've known each other, I've been able to, from time to time, like, boom, see your stuff and it pops up and I'm like, yeah, him and Boney. So I think that the next best thing that you can do to really promote not only this single, but really everything you do, just who you are as an artist, as well as Boney, even with where he is, I think is the team up on Clubhouse, man. Like, and just and like to team up, to have a hangout, chill space, chill vibe, similar to this, where y'all rapping to each other, y'all rapping in multiple senses of the word. The reason why I say that is because, man, it's something about knowing, like, connecting with people in a different way, that I think really, that I know really advances like everything that they're doing. And what I thought about when you were talking, I'm like, yo, if I was with you hanging out, the thing I would love to just hear you do is just spit verses. Like, just take me through your catalog of shit. Like,
oh yeah,
yes, like yes. And the reason why, yeah, bro. And I see it in a dual way. So like, not just from a perspective of like, okay, you're putting on a flow, a show, and that kind of thing, but like this, like exactly this kind of flow where you're just hanging out, you're chopping up about shit, and you have because as artists, as writers, like we write the same things that we're talking about. Like, it's just a different flow. Like, it's the same thing. It's even better flow, in fact.
It's like a different set of eyes, but we're all looking at the same problems, right? So yeah,
exactly.
We can easily go like verse for verse and be like, oh, I got this one about this. And it's like, oh, I got this one about this too.
Yes, and you can talk in between, because that's what you'll be doing the whole time. I just see it as a flow, like really similar to this kind of vibe. And I think that even with, this is me making a intuitive just reach, even with where Boney is, the way I see y'all work together, I think working with you would make him feel comfortable. And I think it doesn't have to feel like anything but just a relaxed kickback. It's just that you give people more of a chance to actually get familiar with the very same artist that's putting out the music and that want you to even continue to stay with them on the journey, whether it's the single, whether it's the tour, whether it's like all of that. Yeah, I think y'all should have a hangout where y'all just kicking, y'all just rapping, and then that way you can do all the things together. You can inform, you can rap a taste, you can have some regular, have conversations about life, all intertwined with also like, yeah, y'all wrote this verse in '97. Like, let me, boom, you know what I mean? Check this out, like, yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah,
just,
no,
yeah.
I see the vision. Like I know, yeah, I can picture it right now. And also, I'd hope that you would come through too.
I would. That's why I'm even thinking about it, because I'm like, the thing is, like, I see that automatically, and then I see, and of course I'm hanging out with you. I'm ready now, but then on top of that, I'm looking at long-term consistency and somebody who I think would be like a good like teammate to just like boom, that becomes the legacy. See, because when I think about this next single, what I know is that right now, if you were just hanging out, right, then what would happen would be dozens and dozens and dozens of people would learn about the single immediately just from hanging with you. In addition to you mentioning it here, you just hanging out, period. Whereas it's the Meyer experience, you just hanging out with Meyer. And then what it does is it makes everything coming down the pipe of Instagram and these other, it takes it to the next level, because now people are pouring straight from this to that, so now you're working on dual fronts, you got your people. Yeah, bro.
And I also wanted to say, like, I used to, well, not used to, well, yeah, used to.
Mm-hmm.
I have a part of an admin for a club. It's called Creative Connect. And what they used to do is exactly what you're talking about, Aaron. Is just, not spotlight an artist, but the whole purpose is to create, creatively and whatnot.
Right.
But then at the same time, you can like advertise whatever you're doing, but the whole purpose is to like everybody to collaborate. And one of their ideas, so it kind of like fell through, unfortunately, but one of their ideas was to just get like a stage of like maybe 7 people, and maybe like someone who's like a lyricist, a producer or whatever, and then do exactly what you just said, go through and bar for bar or so, and then that way it's a genuine space. We never like scheduled anything, but we did do that in a very genuine way. And honestly, that's kind of where I got most of my followers, because I would just mod the room for them and just like offer emotional support. And so if you are going to like do something like that and you need like help with coordinating and stuff, I'm always down. I know a lot of like music people on here. So yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna reach out to you, because I am so bad with coordinating everything. So.
Yo, I get it.
I need like accountability partners for sure.
Yep, and that's what I'm here for. Yesterday, when we were having a conversation, I think it was yesterday, we were having a conversation, and I can't remember. Maybe it was a circa. Maybe it may have been a couple days ago, but having a conversation, and yeah, it was a circa. Okay, so I broke it down to the level of just what it means to hang out on the phone. So I imagine in some way, as far as collaborating, I imagine you and Boney give each other calls sometimes, rap a taste or whatever, even to prepare or to do what you're doing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you imagine this is that, where it's that, and you're just literally, instead of hitting the green button on your phone to call that way, you're just calling this way. And I say that because whether it be y'all just chopping it up about the subjects that y'all do and just relating as brothers, like as cool peeps, that is valuable. Even when it's just y'all two in conversation right now, it's just valuable. I just know how it is within collaboration. When you can work with someone musically and you have that chemistry, it's usually because of the fact that in a regular life way, you vibe on that same place too, to some degree, even if you don't see each other regularly and all of that stuff. But if you can imagine that conversation, which is filled with just y'all just talking about valuable life stuff anyway, chopping up about things, y'all kicking verses to each other, y'all just kind of going through talking about flow, that kind of thing. Having that here, what it would do is just put that same random and not even regular, but from time to time conversation into a framework where it immediately works towards highlighting and bringing awareness to who you are individually, who you are together, and everything you have going on. Because it just brings you bringing even more value by realizing the value that's already there in the chemistry that y'all have. So it's a thought.
Man, I'm just writing down ideas left, right, and center because like already we have this weekly meeting that could easily be moved here.
Boom, boom.
Voila. So yeah, this is just like this is Gem City on a Tuesday morning.
And then yes, sir. And that's even if you decide to take it in baby steps and just start with the first one being y'all just hanging out in a private room together. You're just inching your way there. Instead of having the phone conversation on a regular phone, you have it here, and boom, you just let it be. And then the next time, maybe you do it as a social room so that I could come on through, you know, and maybe just your peeps that are close to you can see, and we can come hang out. And then maybe after that, you know, you open it up, you know, or what have you. But I just definitely know it needs to happen because this is literally the most powerful tool for everything we're trying to bring awareness to. And just having our own unique and nuanced expression of that, just as we are, which is what you're in the midst of every day with me here. I'm literally sitting here filling up my vape, getting ready for Wake and Bake round 2, like doing something that I would do anyway. Like it's just my experience, and so I realized the value in it, and then I didn't question whether somebody else would find it valuable because of course it's not 100 people in here. Of course it's not, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course it's 6 other people that's not in here, but that doesn't matter. What matters is the 6 people that's in here. What matters is the other people that's hanging out on Facebook that I can't even count because the thing keeps flashing. That's the only thing that matters. So what I did was I no longer questioned the value of just me being me. I realized it, and then what I did was I allowed it to be what it is, and then that's how I meet Meyer, who it brings value to, and who now is a part of my journey and supporting me in various ways just because, boom, like he can relate, he understands. That's letting the chips fall where they may. And so, you know, I like to practice every day, finding ways to like just do that, allow for that to happen. And so, yeah, bro, I just rapid taste together, and I'm there, we're there, and yeah, then it's gonna make this thing start to flow even in another way, new influx. Yep.
Let's build a whole other appendage to this. I'm here for it.
Yes, sir, fam. Yes, sir. Family, if there's anyone else, Brother T, I don't know if you're available, would love to say hey. And if there's anyone else who would like to come to the stage, we are standing in accountability. Hello to Karumbi. Hello to Eunice. Hello to Marcy. And by all means. All right. If you'd like to come to the stage, I see Karumbi is coming to the stage. Oh, Karumbi left the room. All right. So with that, we are having a great day today on purpose because we've already initiated. I thank you so much for being a part of that consciousness wherever you reside. The thing is always to go forward as much as you can with courage. Courage allows you to not know everything or not need to know everything in order to just move forward anyway. Knowing that you could be wrong, knowing that you could be right, knowing that the only way to even learn how to be right about something sometimes come by being wrong, and then being objective enough to see it, step back from it, and make a different decision. Exposure is what it is. We count the losses where that happens, where they are grave losses, and then the places where they aren't, we rejoice and we're happy about them. Altogether though, it is what it is. So that's why we try to keep that yin and that yang, that balance. So I thank you for doing that. And I thank you for striving to do that every day. The only way at 11:11 that you can do that is to strive and realize that you don't have the answers to everything, but you do have the ability to keep asking questions to get even better understanding. So on that tip, I'm going to take a few deep breaths. You can do it along with me if you like, so that we can come down off of this high and come back to being grounded and centered, because that is important, and just as important as taking a deep breath for the negative things. So on that tip, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to inhale through my nose, exhale through my mouth. You can do the same. So let's take a deep breath together. Inhale through your nose. Deep and full exhales. Second deep breath in. Long exhale. One more deep breath in. Long exhale. And on that tip, family, have a great day. Let's open up our microphones and affirm each other. Take care, Marcy, Dylan, T, Maya, Circa. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have an amazing day. Sending out love.
You too, family. Peace.